Yes, sir. And so, sit down. I mean, I ain't
taking orders
or nothing like that, but have a seat there, pal. Somebody might call you before it's over with there.
That ain't for me.
Yeah. Hey, we were back there talking, and this life that we live, everybody thinks it's all just the most wonderful, beautiful life, and everything's just peaches and cream all the time. And I know it's not, you know it's not. And tell them what your day's been like today. Tell them, we'll start from last night when you played a show in Nashville, and then come up to when you walked in here today.
Yeah, well, we played the show last night at the Marriott in Nashville, Tennessee. We got done about 10:30, got home about 11. We were back up this morning at 3 o'clock and caught a flight out of Nashville at 6:30 and just arrived here. I mean, just not too long ago. I've been wide open ever since. And everybody, you're right. They think it's just it's a glamorous life, and it is in a lot of ways in respect to what we do. But what they don't get to see is that we load in and out the same place they take the trash out.
Well, that's suitable for us. I don't know about y'all, but we fit in well there. But you know, the other thing is, and I was just thinking while you were saying that, you know, we do have a lot. It's a great deal, I've been doing it now for over 20 years, touring and working on the road, and I tell anyone when I'm talking to them, you know, we get to actually play shows for about 75 minutes to 90 minutes a night, and the rest of the time is either riding to get there or just sitting around waiting. That's what we get paid to do. We sing for free. I've been singing for free all my life. But we get paid to ride up and down the road and sit around and just hurry up and wait and all that kind of stuff. And I'm sure you probably feel the same way.
Yeah, in between stages is what we actually get paid for. We don't get paid for playing. I play for 10,000 people for free every single night. But it's the in between the stages and the loading in and out. That's the hard part. That's where the rubber meets the road. That's what we get paid for.
You and I met probably 3 or 4 years ago in South Lyons, Michigan. I've done a show there for a buddy of mine for now about 10 years, and you were on the show with us, and you know, everybody said, have you heard Glen Templeton here? And I said, no, I haven't really heard of him, but man, let me tell you, I left there as a fan because I'm like, that guy's the real deal, and he does. We both love traditional country music. Growing up on George Jones and Haggard and Waylon and all that stuff, and I think that's great. Where did you grow up? Where were you?
I grew up in a little town right outside of Tuscaloosa, Alabama. So I've been roll tiding all my life, and we like a lot of other people who started their careers out. I just started mine out on the back porch, just picking and grinning, and George Jones, Merle Haggard, Conway, Twitty, and the list goes on and on. But all that traditional country music, I'm like you. I heard you say it once before, and I cut my teeth on the George Jones record.
Hey, that's right. My mama whooped me with a George Jones album. That's why I sing the way I do. Yeah, and you know, I started on the tailgate of a pickup with a tennis racket. No joke. And I played for a bunch of folks in the front yard. I'm gonna tell you about it. But that's fun stuff. One of the coolest things that and I kind of get some notes so I can kind of catch up on things that are going on, was you had the privilege, I think in 2008, to be asked to portray Conway Twitty in a tribute show.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, quite an honor to be hand-selected by the family to play Conway in the touring musical. And that went on for about 2 years, and we actually had one of our last shows was just right north of here in Laughlin, and it was just an incredible experience. And you know, it was big shoes to fill, man, because I mean, there'll only ever be one Conway, so I had to do the best that I could do. But I was just honored and privileged, man, and got to sing some of the best country music ever.
Well, yeah, give it up. That's a big deal. I never got to meet Conway. It was one of the guys, you know, I've been fortunate to meet a lot of my influences, a lot of my heroes, but I never got to meet Conway. But Bruce Crawford, who used to drive his bus, he told me, man, he was the most wonderful guy. And what I found out And this was the reason I wanted to do the show the way we're doing it, is because I wanted you guys to be able to leave knowing something, if it wasn't about us, but knowing something about our business, knowing something that you might not have known. And I've been so blessed, I'm sure you have too. I read on there that you got to tour with George Jones. And I had the privilege in 1997 to do about 5 or 6 shows with George. And I got to meet a lot of the great legends that came before us. And I can tell you this, that was the most welcoming, they were the most welcoming people that I ever had met in the business, because they had to come up hard. They had to come up, they worked for everything they got. And in the business, nothing was handed to them. There was no American Idols. There was no, Who's Got Talent or something like that stuff. Yeah, they were none of that. They had to work hard at it, playing in bars and having smoke blowed in their face and beer spilled on their boots. And I mean, that's what it's all about. And they appreciated it. And when they got to meet guys, and I'm sure I wasn't the only one, they just made you feel like they'd known you your whole life. And that's how they did their fans. And I mean, look at the careers they had. Conway had, I know, over 50 #1 records. It may have been up in the 60s probably. 55, 51 #1 hits. And I mean, that's just from being good people and having great songs. But it was an awesome deal. Now, you got a wife?
She's here with me somewhere out there. There she is, right over there. Wife, 2 kids. Yeah.
I've been asking my guests about this. My wife and I have 4 children now, younger, 6, 2 boys that are 6, twin boys, and then 4-year-old daughter and a 2-year-old daughter. And you do traditions with your family before you have kids and even before you get married. And then as you grow up and family passes, you just kind of take up your own traditions. What are your age of your girl or your kids?
2 boys, one 18 and one 14.
All right. So is there, I mean, you've had them a lot longer than I have then. Is there tradition?
I started out young.
Yeah. Hey, and that was something else. I'm 45, and my wife and I went home a few weeks ago and went to a high school football game, and she was introducing me to these friends who graduated with her, and one of them said, "Yeah, my son's a senior. He's out there on the football field." And I looked at my wife and I said, "And we're just getting started." My goodness. But is there any tradition? Is there a tradition that you guys do at Christmas time and over the holidays that we'd like to know about?
Yeah, well, we tear up presents. Yeah, they usually get toys and they get tore up. But yeah, I mean, as far as Christmas time, we have a blended family, so a lot of running up and down the road, and a lot of quality time just spent just talking, really understanding where they come from. Just because they're teenagers right now, and their lives are changing pretty quick. They're in school, and they just everything that comes through the door is just, it's all new and all fresh every single day. But a lot of the things that we do is like before we go to a football game or something, I mean, they like to jam, so we had to crank the radio up. They like to jam to, what is it, hip hop. That's what it is.
Hip hop. I like that better. Yeah. Well, that's something, and I grew up I grew up in gospel music. I grew up singing gospel music, and I was influenced by gospel music. Some of my biggest influences were in gospel music. And then, I was a closet country music listener, because my parents thought you was going to hell if you listened to country music. And when I started playing country music, I was holding the door for somebody, I promise you. But I still loved it, and I had a '69 Chevrolet pickup that had those old, you can buy them sweaters in the truck stop, like a rug sweater kind of deal, Well, they had them seat covers, and it had them holes under it, and I stick tapes in them holes, and listen to the country music on the way to work and stuff. But I know you're really that whole thing, you gotta listen, because you just like me are gone a a lot. And that time to be that influence on your boys is important, very important. And it's a small window that you've got that you have to be that influence on them. And I know that's awesome that you take advantage of that when we do, because
when I can, we always pick up right where we left off. Whenever we get back in off the road, he just picks right back up where it left off, and it's just like he never left home.
Well, being 18 and 17, I'm gonna get some tips because mine are still young, and I know. I told the folks yesterday, you know, my boys just started kindergarten, and kindergarten now is like a 10th grade. I mean, it's awful. I remember when I went to kindergarten, it was half a day, you know, and we were there and back before we could blink an eye, and these boys are going all day and bringing homework home that I don't understand. Yeah. So I know I may just pull you off and get some tips from you on that.
The wife is home right now on 8th grade science. I mean, you got to be a doctor to figure it out now.
Yeah, they've changed a lot. They definitely have changed a lot. I know you've had some radio success. You've had some songs out the radio, and I want you to play some for these folks.
Absolutely.
Here's what I want you to do. I want you to get up there and do one of your songs, and then I want you to do a Conway Twitty song. I want to let them hear why you were picked to portray Conway in that tribute.
You got it. You got it.
Glen Templeton, everybody. He's going, as we call it, rendering for you. You can sit wherever you want to, buddy. On the floor. Yeah, but this one probably's got a cable. I probably dropped it. I knocked it off.
Oh, ooh, boy, that shocked me.
You're electric.
It's electric. There we go. Ladies and gentlemen, the great Daryle Singletary there. Thank you, sir. Well, I played one of the songs that was on the first album. Actually, it was a song that was written by one of the greatest songwriters of all time, Mr. Kim Williams, who we lost earlier this year. And it was on my album, and it's a song called Devil in the Mirror, and it goes just like this.